Greetings of peace, everyone. This is Bassem Shaban from the Peace Institute, and we welcome you once again to a new episode of Faith and Society. And once again, we have our distinguished guests, Pastor Stanley Murray from the Christian community and Imam Muhammad Musri representing the Muslim community. And as we continue on our journey to really understand the role and the perspective of faith that it has related to many of the social issues that the whole world is facing, and we as Americans are facing around the country and locally, it's always important to get the perspective of faith next to economics, politics, government, and on, so we can have a balanced perspective and our viewers can really see things from different viewpoints. So we're very happy to have our speakers once again. And we are very happy actually to have Pastor Stanley with us, because ironically with our topic today on faith and health related to the COVID crisis that's taken over the world for the last couple of years now so far. We are very blessed to have Pastor Stanley with us because he was hospitalized for quite a few days. So we're very happy to see him healthy and back with great vigor to share his experience. So with that, Pastor, we'll start with you on what is your viewpoint of the COVID crisis, maybe the debate that's happening right now nationally about vaccination, and anything else you want to share from your own personal experience.
And once again, let me say thank God for being here today. Blessing to my good brother, Imam Muhammad, and of course you, Brother Bassem. And just to the community itself, there is so much that, so much good that could come from the media. However, because, we are a nation of liberty, that also gives us room to sometimes stretch those rationales of what we believe is good or bad for people. But I just want to encourage those to know that, your health is important because you need it in order, and not just your physical health, but your mental health as well, and your spiritual health to solidify it all. But when you're talking about your flesh itself, and I tell people that, they're in the hospital setup, they do what they can to get your body to begin to take over and heal itself. And so the stipulations of what they give you, whether it be through vaccines or through medicines, all of that is to encourage the body to take over and get you to a place of health. But when you begin to look at it, even prior to that, I think what really blessed me was I had a history of no smoking. I was not a drinker. I did not eat a lot of various different things that caused me to be overweight. I exercise, I walk, I run, I continue to give my body every opportunity to survive if something were to come hectic against it. And so one of the key ingredients that the doctor really relayed to me was knowing your body and knowing what you need to do to get your body as healthy as possible. So I would go to say, even those who may have taken the vaccine, but not taken their life seriously with their health, you still put yourself in jeopardy because there are other things that can happen. High blood pressure, diabetes, COPD, heart issues, all those things can still become apparent. So in retrospect of what we're talking about today with your health and your spirit, he said, let all things be done decently and in order. So you have to ask yourself, is my body in order? Is my mind in a place of order? Because with that order, I'm able to diagram and discipline those things I need to do. Every New Year's, people make what's called a resolution. I got a New Year's resolution, and most of them say what? I'm either going to lose weight, or I'm going to save money, or I'm going to do something. But I tell people, if you spend so much time about a resolution, you never get any restoration. So that's the key ingredient to us. How can we restore our bodies back to a place, because we only get one temple, okay? When we leave here, you get a new body, not the one you get that you're going in the door with. So you have to take care of the body that you have, be cognizant of the information that's given to you, use your mind to get things done accurately, but always, always, always make sure you're taking care of your body in the most effective way possible. That comes back to the simplest of things: what you eat, what you're drinking, how much water you're intaking into your body. The simple things: are you using vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc? Are you using multivitamins or day vitamins that help you increase those things? Because as you get older, things do drop. You know, testosterone drops in us as men, especially when we hit around 35, 40. With women, it's something different with the estrogen and all those types of things. So we have to ask ourselves, what are we doing to incorporate getting ourselves to a highest level possible at the age that we're at, that not if, but when something does come our way, we're able to fight it effectively.
Well, thank you, Pastor, for sharing. And we're very glad that you're with us. So, Imam?
Well, thank you for having me. And I want to congratulate the pastor for passing the test and coming back stronger than ever. This is great. And on the debate that's going on, you know, nationally and globally about the vaccine and the people who are still holding out, casting doubt about the need for it, or believing in the conspiracies that have been, you know, spread around since the beginning. I believe now it's time for that to go, because already for 9 months, the vaccine has been administered to millions and millions and millions of people around the world, and right here in the United States, and with high efficacy and very few, if any, side effects. Compared to other vaccines, it has been really very effective and successful. You know, everybody has the right to ask questions and to get answers, and the medical community has done so. The FDA, the CDC have, you know, brought the experts, asked the questions, looked at the data, and now we are dealing with a very deadly disease. Every day we hear about loved ones and friends and neighbors who succumb to the disease. And so from a faith perspective, we have a rule that says you have to weigh the, if you take it, what happens, and if you don't take it, what happens. If you don't take it, you know, the chances of getting infected are really high, number one. And number two, that it is deadly. There is no treatment for it per se. And if you don't hurry up and take it, you are at a much, much higher risk than a person who took the shots. Yes, it's not going to prevent 100% a person from getting sick, but the data shows that people don't get as severely sick, hospitalized, or die from it, as we lost over 500,000, now it's 650,000 Americans to this fatal virus. From a faith perspective, we are ordered by God to take care of our bodies. As the pastor eloquently said, you know, we have to do our best in terms of the right food, the right exercise, the right sleep, the right medicine, and the right prevention. And we are in a good time in history when science can, you know, do a fast turnaround and investigate the virus, identify it, and come up with a vaccine and do the testing. In Islam, you know, we have a rule that the Prophet said, take the medicine or seek the cure, O servants of God, because God has created for every illness a cure. So it's a religious responsibility, individually and collectively, when a disease, a virus breaks out like this, that we need to seek the cure and to take it. And we cannot just say, yeah, God will take care of me. God has created ways for you to take care of yourself, and that happens with the blessings of God. So you are not going outside God's will by taking a vaccine. In fact, you are fulfilling God's will by taking the vaccine that fights the virus that was also created by God. So in Islam, we have clarity on this issue that does not leave room for me as a Muslim to say, I don't want to take the vaccine. I just want to, depend on God and God will take care of it. So that's a mistake. The other part is the Prophet has spoken about if you hear of a plague in some area, if a disease, a virus breaks out in an area, don't go into it if you are outside. And if you are outside, don't leave, stay with that group so you don't spread it. In modern terms, we call it quarantine. So wearing the mask, okay, keeping social distance from others, as well as quarantining when you feel you got the virus, are in Islam part of what the Prophet ordered us to do. And I know that there are many people, including many Muslims, who are objecting to the mask or mask mandates in schools. And I say, it's an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. And especially for our kids in schools, wearing those masks hopefully prevents the little kids who cannot be vaccinated yet from getting sick. And that is very important. If the kids were vaccinated, it's a different story, but they are vulnerable and their bodies are still young. And also they may transmit that to their grandparents or parents or siblings who might have immune, deficiencies. Their immune systems are not strong enough. So, and that explains why since schools started, many teachers have got infected, lost their lives, and many people, ended up getting the virus. If we practiced, masks wearing and social distancing, I think we could prevent economic problems as well as, change this problem that we are going through right now.
Now, on the point that you made, Imam, where some people are saying, I'm going to depend on God to heal me. And there is a lot of controversy related to, at least in the United States, where a lot of the people who are anti-vaccine seem to be religious. And they say that, God will protect me, God will take care of me. So what do you say, Pastor? We'll start with you in a little bit more detail to clarify this notion that religion and science maybe doesn't coincide, or that our belief systems can really protect us from viruses and other harmful things in our lives. So can you clarify that for our viewers?
Muted.
Just to make sure there you go.
Yes, sir. I would like to say that, a lot of people who are in religions tend to use the God word loosely and not have a true relationship. A lot of people talk and they're not what I would call prayer warriors. They do not spend quality time in prayer to hear the heart and mind of God. And so it's very easy to say, well, God will take care of you. That's a blanket statement that you have not even communed with God about. Even in the Christian Bible, it says some things come through fasting and prayer. And so I would ask those people, have they taken the time to even go into a fast and prayer, especially if it's something that they are not, they see everything going on around them. They've not taken the time to say, you know what, this is a lot to swallow. I'm getting the information on this side. I'm getting the information on that side. Some of it makes sense. Some of it doesn't. I got with my personal doctor and got this, but I talked to another doctor. He said that. So I'm not quite sure. At the end of the day, we as Christians are supposed to go to God through fasting and prayer so that he will speak to us about those decisions that we have to make. And so I challenge those people who just say, God will take care of me. Was that done in the proper order that God has designed through the Bible? Was it done through prayer and fasting? Was it done through a one-on-one quality time with him and he spoke within your spirit to say, don't take it, don't do it? Or even to say, he told me to do it. Because I always tell people, when you don't know what to do what he told you. All right? Until he tells you something different. And so I challenge those people who are using this general statement of God will take care of me. What does that mean? You mean he'll take care of you after your mistake? Or are you saying God has told me to sit in this position, and even in that, it may be just be for a season. It may not be the entire time. He may have you held up for a season for some other reason, but usually it's connecting to somebody else. You know, God doesn't just put you on an island and say, don't worry about it, Pastor Stan, just sit over in the corner and when I need you, I'll pull you out. Anything that God does with us, and I know for a fact when I was in the hospital, my stay there was not just for me. It was for me, it was for my family. My wife is more inspired now to make sure that we are doing the things we're supposed to do with our children. We took an opportunity to review, and if I might go too far left, help me. But we sat down and reviewed our personal files, our wills, our testaments. Are things in place for our children to know what to do, not if, but when, because we're all going to leave this place, what needs to be done. That's how far we took that. And so I still took that at all things work together for the good. And our children are now even more knowledgeable about if mom and dad were not in place, here's what we need to do. And so you have to challenge yourself. It's amazing how people have insurance on their phone, but not on their life. And so then we're trying to do a GoFundMe on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, asking people to help pay for someone who's having to be buried. So I took this opportunity to now project to you all that God wants more. He wants more out of us. He wants more attention. He wants more obedience. He wants more sacrifice. He wants more honor. He wants more of us. And so we have to ask ourselves, am I just going through the motions because of my emotions? Or am I rolling with the motion of God that is causing me to say and see and sow what he would have me to do to be a better person and encourage others?
And we say in Islam that all these are by intention. In other words, I cannot necessarily claim that I can read the mind of God and claim I know exactly what God wants me to do, and that's not to take the vaccine in this case. I don't know that. So if I do choose to take the vaccine with the intention not to disobey God, but to obey God, then I believe God is going to judge me based on that intention. If your child comes to you from school and says, I messed up, but my intention was this is what I was trying, it's different than if he just didn't care. So if I'm trying to protect myself, my family, as you said, the impact goes wide all around me. If something happens to me, then I can say to God, my intention was to protect myself. My intention was to protect my family. I took the steps I knew. I followed the advice of the experts in the medical community. And if I was wrong, taking the vaccine, I'm sorry. But it wasn't my intention to do something to disobey God. But my intention was to obey God who entrusted me with this body. He said, this is rental, take care of it. And like you eloquently said, you take care of it with the good food, the good exercise, the good sleep, the good medicine. And taking the vaccine is just makes sense that with the right intention, it should be taken and not look back and second guess yourself and listen to the naysayers, because where are they when you end up in the hospital and your family is devastated? And like you said, they cannot afford to even bury you if you pass. This is what happened to a lot of families who regretted, who told their doctors in the hospital, please give me the vaccine now. And he said, I can't, you are already sick, you're in the hospital. You have to wait until you are out. And I heard these stories again and again.
That might be God calling you.
So I am sorry for the interruption from.
It's okay. That's the age we're in. So unfortunately, we have to close because of time, but thank you very much for the answers. I think it's going to be very valuable for our viewers and beyond to finally hear the perspective from faith about this very serious issue that is really not going away anytime soon. And I'll close with one story I read where there was this hurricane in this town. And there was this believer, he really believed in God so much that he said, I'm going to stay in my home and God will protect me. Even though the mayor of the town told him, evacuate with the rest of the villagers and so on. And the man refused. He said, God will protect me. So they left him behind. And then the hurricane came and it started flooding his house until he had to go up to the roof so he doesn't drown. And then a helicopter comes to save him. And the man says, no, he waves the helicopter away and says, God will save me, God will save me. And they had to leave. And then a boat comes out of nowhere to help the person, say, come on, we'll pick you up, we'll take you. And the man said, no, God will protect me, God will protect me. And eventually another wave came and, killed the man and he drowned, unfortunately. So then he meets God on Judgment Day. And he complains to God. He said, God, I trusted you. I believed in you. And you didn't save me. And God was like, what are you talking about? I told the mayor inspired the mayor to call an evacuation from the hurricane. I sent you a helicopter. I sent you a boat. What else did you need for you to leave and listen to me? And that really speaks volumes that a lot of us have this, like the pastor mentioned, have a different understanding of God's relationship with us, that we expect to respond to him in emotion and not in devotion. So I think that's really where a lot of people are stuck. And hopefully with your eloquent discussion, we can change some minds, but most importantly, hearts, for not only their sake, but for the sake of the community at large. So thank you very much.
You have free vaccine available everywhere.
Yes.
What else you want God to come and inoculate you?
So thank you very much.
Everybody's afraid of free. Is it really free?
Oh, yes.
Oh, my God.
Well, it's so good to see you again.
Yes. Thank you, Pastor and Imam, for being with us. And we look forward to joining you in another future episode. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, viewers. And thank you very much for being very devoted to these series. Don't forget to subscribe on the United We Stand for Peace channel, and always share the blessings that you hear from these shows so we can expand the message of peace to the rest of the community. Thank you, and we'll see you soon. Take care.